Rachel. I'm a recruiter for Recruiters with Acquired Talent. And today I'm talking with one of my favorite people in the world, Helen Pritchard, who is famous for being the LinkedIn lady. And I can't thank her enough for turning my LinkedIn frown upside down. When I hit a very low point personally and professionally, her 5-day challenge came into my life, changed everything. So I'm going to ask Helen today a little bit about her process of LinkedIn marketing and how this relates to recruiters. Welcome, Helen.
Oh my goodness, what an introduction. What an amazing introduction. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rachel, for having me as well. So yeah, probably most famous for helping people get leads for their businesses from LinkedIn, but as we'll probably talk about today, I'm an ex-recruiter for my sins, and I used to have a presentation called Be Less Recruiter in the day, but now I've kind of like, recruiters really can use LinkedIn in a totally different way. So it's cool that the 5-day challenge helped you massively, and that's just, I think that's the best introduction I've ever had.
Well, good, I'm glad. Well, you kind of got at my first question, which is that you're famous for teaching thousands of people how to use LinkedIn to generate warm inbound leads. And I understand, like you just said, you have experience in recruiting. Can you give us a little bit more of a deeper history of your experience with recruiting? Because I've looked at your LinkedIn profile and I'm not sure if I totally understand.
It's not even on there.
It's not even that explains so much. I was like, when was she a recruiter?
So back in the old days, that's when I was a recruiter. So I'm 40 nearly now, and I was a recruiter when I was about 18. Recruitment in the UK is one of the few jobs you can just walk into with no real experience, and you get a decent salary and usually a car, a phone, and an expense account in those days. Don't think they have those things anymore, certainly not in the UK. Yeah, so this is the old days of recruitment. So I worked in a small independent recruitment company, which is no longer with us, I don't think. It was like 10 blokes and me. And we did oil and gas recruiting, like overseas oil and gas recruiting. I had no idea what I was doing. I literally learned on the job. I started on my own desk like they do. They start ringing people. We had a Rolodex, we had phones on our desks. I think we could smoke in the office then and that kind of thing. So this was like the real old days. There was no internet. So we used to ring people. So we'd get a fax job through. Don't know if anybody under 30 knows what a fax is, but you'd get a fax, it'd land in the office, and then we'd have to hit the phones and ring all our contacts and say, we've got this job, would you be interested? And it was just a totally different life, totally different world. We'd take clients out. That's how we got business. We'd take clients out for dinner. We'd go out for hours and hours eating and drinking on the company's like credit card. And we built relationships personally. So people would ring me because they had to make a choice, right? They couldn't just send an email to everyone. So they had to decide, I've got this job, who am I going to ring first? So hopefully they'd ring me first. And it was great. I loved it. I loved the banter. I loved the excitement of it. And then the internet came out and it just kind of ruined it a bit for me. It just made it feel very transactional, very, first past the post. It was going out to multiple agencies at a time. You were ringing people and they were like, oh, somebody's already rang me. Everyone was just pressing buttons to send CVs rather than like coming in and seeing people. And I don't know, it just changed the industry massively for me. So
you're such a social media internet superstar.
It's ruined it for me. Like personally for me, it just ruined it because it just took away that relationship-based selling that I was so used to, I guess.
So then you went from recruiting into marketing.
Yeah, so I went into recruiting, into marketing, and then further on, like when I had my agency, we did employer branding. So I've always kind of had it. Everything I've always done is about people. Like I love people, that's my thing. So when I went to my agency, we did social media, which was obviously about people, but then we really niched into employer branding, and that was working with companies on how they were recruiting people. So we'd use Facebook ads, which was quite cutting edge because we were doing it maybe 5-6 years ago. So Facebook ads to get people to apply for jobs, and then really getting companies to understand how to make their jobs appealing to their ideal person. So the ICA work that you've seen me do, Rachael, where I do ideal client avatar, it is all born out of my days of doing ideal candidate avatar. So really mapping out the ideal candidate for this job, creating them as one person, give them a name, give them a life, giving them a lifestyle, give them a current job, give them a current salary, what's keeping them awake at night, what would the next move be the best thing for them, how is that going to help them in their lives. And all of my work really comes from that. ideal client avatar, because when I'd worked with companies to get them to do that, it was very, very clear. And I worked with some of the biggest names you've probably heard of. Like, they'd never even sat down and thought this. They were all about, oh, I'm just going to write this job spec that's all about us and how great our business is and how important it is that people come and work for us. And then, you know, we'll decide who gets to come and work. When I'd go and they'd say to me, oh, it's really hard to find good people. And I'd say, listen, CEO of your big branded company, you're not trying hard enough. You're just not trying hard enough. You're putting out the same shit to the same people on the same sites, and you're getting the same rubbish. You know, you complaining because, hiya. You're complaining because you're getting the wrong types of people. Hello, gorgeous. But actually, you're not trying hard enough. You're not positioning it in a way to appeal to your ideal candidate. And that's really where a lot of my stuff came from. Talk to your ideal candidate. Put a job in their words, in their world. Show them what the benefits are for them, instead of just sitting around waiting for people to come and want to work for you because you're so amazing. And it's the same with business. Don't sit around waiting for people to come to buy from you because you're so amazing. Instead, really understand your ideal customer, your ideal client, and put everything you do into their world and into context for them. And then they're much more likely to buy from you, just like they're much more likely to apply to you.
You know, and that's so interesting you said that, because when we came up on the ideal candidate or ideal client work, I was having trouble wrapping my head around it, because everything is sort of geared towards coaches and people who sell a product or service. And so recruiters, even though we are in sales, it's a little bit different. And I had to kind of retune my mind to put it into terms of ideal candidate avatar. And it has really worked for me, envisioning the exact person with their name and an age and a family and hobbies and concerns. And those people really do come to me.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the magic of it. Like, and when you start to think in that language, like ICA, whatever. So when I speak to my clients, they'll be like, "Oh, we've had 10 applications, and 7 of them are from our ICA." Yeah, not exactly, but so close. And once you understand that, it's like, oh, it makes sense. Same with you as a recruiter. You want to, you know, the rec to rec thing, like you're recruiting recruiters for the recruiters, and it's all a bit like, it's a bit like meta. It's like it's eating itself. But like. Every recruiter and every recruitment company is just as different. So if you're a recruitment agency, then you've got different values, different way that you show up, different types of work that you do. And the same with the person that you put in there, totally different. So it's not about right or wrong fit. It's just about right fit. You know, it's not like somebody, the thing is like, if you're like we're all loads of lads, it's like the Wolf of Wall Street, we're on the phones all the time, we're like, you know, we party hard, you know, we work hard, party hard, blah, blah, blah. You could get some 18-year-old lad who's like, you know, into all that kind of stuff. They're like talking that Wolf of Wall Street language and attract that guy into that as a recruiter. Whereas if you're like, well, we're a small, bespoke, you know, family run agency, we're out in the countryside, you know, we look out over fields, you know, we spend our, you know, Tuesdays, we have a book club, you know, different people, not right or wrong. But then you've got, you know, some girl, you know, a girl from the village who's 20, who wants to find somewhere where you can start. That's going to be right for her. But if you try and put that lad into that business and that girl into that business, it's just not going to work.
Exactly. And that's our thing, is we don't put butts in seats, right? We're about building teams that make sense in the long run.
Yeah. And you can do that through LinkedIn. Like if you've got a client who's got, say they've got this Wolf of Wall Street as an example, like as a culture, like you could put loads of content out about that and attract, if you've already got an audience of recruiters, you're going to attract the right people to that by just putting it out there. I think the biggest thing that recruiters do wrong, in my opinion, is trying to keep everything behind the scenes. Everything is like, we want to keep I've done loads of workshops with recruitment agencies. We don't want to open up our networks. We don't want anyone to see who our clients and our candidates are. Straight away, it's like, if that's your biggest worry, I'd be much more concerned about the fact that you can't retain clients or candidates than I would about LinkedIn. Because if that's your worry and you've got no loyalty whatsoever, then that's the problem. So we don't want anyone to see who we're connected to, first thing. We don't want to accept connection requests of anyone else other than people who we know that we can place or with the potential clients. You know, we want to just connect with potential, we want to sell anyone to anybody, you know, instead of just picking a niche and being really, really specific, you know. And the main thing is just all the direct messaging that they do. That's it, isn't it? It's like, I've got this role, I've got this role, I've got this role. Instead of putting the role out there, for people to then message them. So it's just a different mindset approaching it, because everyone hates recruiters is a lie, and it's a story that people tell themselves. But it's not that they hate recruiters; they hate being sold to.
Mm-hmm.
So people love recruiters because they solve a massive problem, but they want to be in charge of the decision-making process.
That is a major key.
That's it. And that's all my stuff does, is it switches the dynamic from you selling to them coming to you when they're ready. And it's a huge game changer for everybody.
Well, one of the big principles of yours is no direct messaging, which at first was extremely uncomfortable for me because my whole business is built on direct messaging, cold direct messaging people. But I know from experience that it doesn't really get great results. I got some results, but not fantastic results. And
it will get results. It will get results. I'm never going to say that. Of course, you send 100 messages a day, you're going to get a couple of leads.
Right. So how do you not send direct messages, cold direct messages?
Cold direct messages. Well, I've done it. I have done it, and sometimes they get dragged up when I'm talking about never send DMs, and something like 2016 you sent me this DM, and it's like, yeah, of course I've done it, because I've got to try everything, right? But it's about how it makes everybody feel, right? So I'm all about emotions-based selling. It's going to make you feel rubbish because deep down that when people get those messages, it makes them feel rubbish.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the emotions all wrong. If you want to go really woo, the vibrational energy is all wrong about that situation. Also, if you send 100 messages and you get one response, you've got a response. But the 99 other people will never work with you. From a positioning point of view, if you are consistently sending out direct messages, it sends out a signal that I am desperate and need help with my business, or need help, or need money. Whereas if in the positioning point of view, if you put yourself out there saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what's great about the work that I do, this is what's great about my clients, this is what's great about the opportunities I've got, this is what's great about, all those 4 pillars of stories, video, social proof, and call to action stuff. You put that content out there, let people come to you, because you are the best recruiter that there is, right? So would the best and most successful rec to rec be sending loads of inboxes every day? No. Who sends loads of inboxes? Newbies who are desperate, right? Yeah, because you get a call. I've done it. You get what used to be the yellow pages. You basically just get, right, go and find yourself some clients. And you're just desperately scrabbling around looking for clients. And it's hard to wean yourself off that, even when you are more successful. But just think about it. If I was earning 50 grand a month as a rec to rec, would I be sending out loads of direct messages? No. Do I want to position myself as the best rec to rec? Yeah, so I want to position myself and put myself out there as this, and it almost feels counterintuitive. It's like, well, it's not a fake it before you make it, it's just positioning. So it's just like, instead of sending loads of messages, instead you put out loads of content, so then people come to you and say, oh, can you help us with this? You want them to want you more than you want them. It's a bit like a dating analogy. Like, you want them to want you much more than they perceive that you want them, if that makes sense, because straight away you're in a position of weakness. I get 5 or 6, 7, I think I've got 8 leads today. Like, I've said no to 7 of them. It's because it's not what I want to do, because they want me to go and do workshops and things like that, and I don't want to do them. But it's a positioning thing. It's about, I'm the best at what I do. I'm not desperate for business, and people want to work with me, then they're going to get the best experience, not the cheapest experience. And I think it's so much easier to create an ecosystem of your ideal clients and your ideal candidates. So how have you found business since the 5-day challenge then? Like, how have you found the experience?
It's unbelievable. It's like night and day, and people approach me, and I find it easier to give back and give value and send referrals without, sort of prefacing it with, well, do you pay referral fees? Like, that will come at the right time if it is to come.
Nice.
It's something that I can give as well, but it's sort of like icing on the cake instead of like the carrot on the stick, for example.
Nice. Yeah, nice analogy. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, so
it's almost like just that let's just relax.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel, when a lot of people, when I meet them, or they meet me, or they find me, you can feel it, and it's like, oh, I know, because I've been there. It's that stuff going on in your head, but it's like, literally, we're running a business. It's not life or death. Well, it kind of is in some ways. A little bit. But it's like you say, once you start getting those wins and you ease yourself into it, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Like I say, having a plan, exactly, at least something to do each day, you've got something to do each day. You can't sit around going, oh, what should I do today? Like, I need a strategy. I needed this. I needed that. It's like, just do a bit of social proof and then Helen won't kick your ass. So you've done something.
And that's what I love. So I did the 5-day challenge, which is free, and you do it 4 times a year, the 5-day challenge?
In fact, we do it 8 times a year. We do an early bird challenge and we do a normal launch challenge, if that makes sense. Next one's like soon. It's coming up. It's like next month.
It was an unbelievable experience for me, and at the end I was a fence sitter about joining your mastermind, because I didn't know that it really applied to recruiters. I saw it really as something geared towards coaches and people that sell a product or a service. But Danielle Mills,
love Danielle.
Yeah, she really kind of talked me into it. And also what did it was, there's a week in between the 5-day challenge and when the mastermind starts. And I had all this support for a week, and it was very intense, and it was wonderful, and it was packed with wins. And then all of a sudden it was gone for a week.
I'd like to say that's not a strategic move, but that'd be a lie.
Like, I see the takeaway. I get this. It worked for me because I was like, oh no, I need this. It's actually, makes a difference in my life. And I was happy to find out that the mastermind, which is a 12-week program, is not so intense. The 5-day challenge was very consuming. I hit the Thursday wall. I think I cried a little bit.
I cried, yeah. It's normal.
Yeah,
normal.
But with the mastermind, it's much more bite-sized daily activities that leave space for you to really do your work.
Everyone needs space to breathe, and it's almost like it doesn't have to happen now, doesn't it? Because the stuff you're doing now is going to have a ripple effect. The most common thing you ever hear on LinkedIn is, I've been watching your stuff for a while.
Yeah.
That's the most common thing I hear. And these are people I've never interacted with, never heard of, they've never commented or anything, but they have been watching me or seeing me pop up for a long, long time before they buy. So and I do sell it as that. Like, the 5-day challenge is great, but when people start getting the wins on the Wednesday, I'm like, shit, everyone needs to realize that this isn't how it works. It's a 12 to 18 month play. It really is. And then it's like out for the rest of your life. The rest of your business life, it'll just keep giving. I've just had 2 weeks off, which never happens, and I've come back to so many leads in my inbox and in LinkedIn, because I don't have to be there all the time. In the beginning you do, but it's all, you build up your authority and your reputation, and people know you for what you do. And like you say, you call me the LinkedIn lady. It's not what I thought I was going to be when I grew up, gotta be honest. It's like the least sexy job I could possibly be, the least sexiest platform, but I'm known for one thing. So when people come to me and go, I want to do this, this, and this, I'm like, just get known for one thing first, babe, and then, then do something else. So,
right. What can recruiters do to, recruit better?
The number one thing that recruiters need to do is understand their niche. They really do need to pick a niche and just get really good at it. You will always get other things. So there's a girl on the call today going, I recruit for finance directors, but I keep getting asked for admin, and I've done about 50-50 admin. So should I change my ICA? And I'm like, no, you can mention that you do other roles, but stay focused on the one you want to recruit for. Just because other people are asking to recruit, you should suddenly change your whole business model. I talk about value, joy, profit. So that's a triangle. Where in your business do you add the most value? Do you get the most joy, the people that you work with and for? And where do you make the most profit? So if you can do admin, but you don't make so much money on it, and you find them a bit flaky, just for an example, but you love finance directors because maybe you used to be one and now you are one, and you talk on a certain level, and there's much more like a fee in there for you, and you prefer the clients because they're then do finance. You don't need to do other things just because other people ask you to do them, basically. And although that feels, again, counterintuitive to making money, but honestly, the more stuff you probably say no to, the more focused you get, and then you become the go-to girl, boy for that thing. Because people want a specialist, not a generalist. So picking a niche is really important. Putting that into your headline makes people's heads fall off, as we know, but it will just help you massively with resonance. So you put it into your headline, and then you start to ask those people to connect. You're going to get resonance, which means that more people are going to accept, which means that you're going to get the right people in your audience. Now, recruiters, traditionally, people don't want to connect with them, right? And I know this because I've done thousands and thousands of training sessions where people have gone, and I've said, you must accept everyone. And they've gone, everyone but recruiters, though, because we don't want to connect with recruiters. And I'm like, well, there's a couple of things. The main one, from a selfish point of view, recruiters are usually the best connected people on LinkedIn. So you should absolutely accept all recruiters, because they will help when you're then searching for your ideal client avatar. Your audience, your searches will be much wider. So then they're like, oh, right. So if you can make it about them. Well, so the other thing is like recruiters are people too. Like, you know, they are normal, nice human beings who might want to buy things from you, who might want to do, you know, it's like this kind of this industry. But what's going to happen is if you've got a really boring headline that says recruiter at XYZ, and you go and ask to connect with your ideal client, they're going to say no, right? But if you say, helping the HR directors hire better people faster using blah, 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 which is one of my headlines from way back, and they're a HR director, they're at least going to look at your headline, at least, and they might even click on it and come and look at your profile. So it's just about giving yourself a fighting chance, putting yourself in your ideal client's shoes and thinking, what do they want to see? What's going on in their world? So not about you, not about your business, not about your fees or your experience, because no one cares about that. They care about themselves and what's going on in their world and how you can fix their problems as quickly as possible.
And that's what I'm finding out, because I made, you know, my headline into one of your headlines. So I'm helping IT recruiters, New York City agency. I have to really niche down. I'm not doing internal roles. And I got really hung up on this for a while because people would come to me and say, I want to go internal. I want to be an in-house recruiter. We don't have any of those roles. And for a while there, I thought I have to go on some kind of like campaign to explain to people that they shouldn't go in-house. But really it's, I need to go on a campaign to get more leads that for myself, for people who
have to go on every campaign. Yeah, exactly. I do that. I'm like, oh, I need to do a big session on this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, you just need to keep getting people in your mastermind, babe. That's your business. Like,
and I even niched down in my headline to IT recruiters, even though we place all kinds of recruiters. It's just that everybody needs an IT recruiter. So nice. If an IT recruiter comes to me, I can send them to 2 or 3 or even 4 interviews in New York City, whereas a medical recruiter would be like 1 possible interview. So I can do the most for IT recruiters.
That comes down to value, joy, profit again. So just pick the thing that is going to make your life as easy as possible. Yeah, exactly. Where you can have the value, you can make the money. You know, it's going to be, you want to have an enjoyable day. You don't want to have loads of people, CVs on your desk that you can't place. That's going to make you feel stressed and unhappy and like, you know, I'm rubbish. I'm never going to make it as a recruiter and all that kind of jazz. So you said you want to look for the easy wins, the quick wins that are also going to be profitable. Otherwise, you ain't got a business. So you've done absolutely the right thing. The more niche you are, the easier it is to find leads and the more money you can charge.
I love it. Are you launching anything anytime soon you'd like to tell people about?
So 5-day challenge is the thing that I want people to come into. I mean, we've had well over 12,000 people go through it now. I love it. I absolutely love it, even though it kills me a little bit every time. But it energizes me so much. So all I want people to do is just come into the 5-day challenge, because that's where they will learn so much about themselves and their business. And then if they decide to, you know, upgrade, if you like, and upsell into my mastermind, that's fine. That's great. I love it. But my proudest achievement is that 90% of people never buy from me, which means that they're kind of getting enough from me to go and make some money without me, which is what it's all about. So please come into the free 5-day challenge. It's totally free for you guys, not free for me to put on anymore. But we're looking at getting 2,000 people into the early bird challenge this time, 5,000 people into the challenge next time. So it's an experience, isn't it, Rachel?
It is an experience. And would you say recruiters should join your 5-day challenge?
Absolutely. We've got at least 3 or 4 recruiters in the mastermind at the moment, and there's no competition. It's only loads of support. I know Danielle speaking to one of the girls from today. Absolutely, yeah. Because I love recruiters. I think you're all amazing. I think you've got great opportunity. And also, I think of all the industries that I work with, like coaches and VAs, my recruiter's the one where I think the simplest tweaks and the mindset change just give you such a competitive advantage over everyone else doing everything the same. That is, I think everybody's going to do LinkedIn this way in 5 years' time. So if you get in now, then you'll be miles ahead of your competition. Definitely.
Totally agree. Do you want to shout anybody out?
I want to shout out to Rachael for being amazing and taking that like and running with it, because, you know, to come to the 5-day challenge not in a great place and to leave it feeling amazing and then to go and implement it. I don't want people saying how great I am at training. It's nice. I like it for the ego. But I want people to say, I did Helen's training, I implemented it and I got the results. So that's all I care about, is changing people's lives and businesses. And the easiest way I can change people's lives is by helping them get more leads, more cash in the bank, means you can do nice stuff with your kids. So shout out to you really for doing the work.
Thank you. I'd like to count myself as one of your success stories.
Absolutely, one of my success stories. Absolutely, yeah.
And how my assistant's in a bad mood today. How can people find you?
So my favourite way for people to find me is on Facebook. So you can't connect with me on Facebook personally because I'm up to the limit, but you can follow me on Facebook. So if you follow me, like Helen, if you search for Helen Pritchard Warrington, which is where I live, and follow me on Facebook, I do all my lives on there. You can find me on LinkedIn. Again, you can follow me, but I can't connect back at the moment because I'm up to the limit there. You can get me on Instagram. Going to start doing Instagram stories at Helen Pritchard Online.
Cool.
And you'll find me. Come and join my free group, LinkedIn Marketing. Helen Pritchard's LinkedIn Marketing group on Facebook. You'll find me. Don't worry.
Easy to find on all platforms, not just LinkedIn.
Not just LinkedIn. I'm probably on Facebook more than I'm on LinkedIn because you don't need to be on LinkedIn all the time. You just need to go there, do your stuff, and get the leads, and that's it.
Well, we'll have to talk another time about how recruiters can use other social media platforms.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Facebook ads particularly are my specialty when it comes to recruitment, so maybe another time, yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk later about that.
Okay. All right, lovely. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the group.
Definitely. Can you say bye-bye, Benji? Say bye, Helen.
Bye, Benji.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being
here. Bye. See you later.